Well, good day, good afternoon, good evening, or simply greetings, depending on what time it is in your part of the world. I believe today was a Tuesday. And I say I believe because I lose track. I believe today was Tuesday, and I believe it's the 9th of March, 2021. That goes to show you how much I keep track of days. Time is of no real issue anymore. I don't know. Don't really think about it. But I hope your day was great. Welcome back to the study, EnTensity. And, wow, I have my music on to see how much I can get through this. I played the music back that I was listening to as I did my meditation today. And I thought about it, and I thought, there's something very powerful about music and memory. And since we're talking about the power of energy in memory, that in itself is pretty intense. Because when you play the music, it triggers the memory. And so as I go through the meditation of the position of number 2, which we left off on, taking a breath, DUAT. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And if not, I'm still practicing. I'm sure there's many ways to say DUAT, D-U-A-T. So if you're joining me and you haven't already done so, take a breath as we prepare to go into this study intensity and see what these oracle symbols, I think that's a good name for them, oracle symbols. I know it's an oracle deck, and I know the symbols are hieroglyphs. But when you think about the symbols and you think about the hieroglyphs, they are a language. Symbols are a language. Excuse me, I had to adjust the music. It's a language. So this study intensity, I've chosen the Oracle of Chasset, the Oracle deck, as a teaching tool, just as a reminder for those who are just joining me. This is a learning session, a quantum leap learning session to awaken the memory in your cells, in your DNA. So get your notebook, get your pens, get your cards, index cards, if you will. Get your index cards. Taking notes or a notebook. So as they speak to you, You can make notes. You don't want to lose anything when the Spirit is speaking to you. You don't want to lose anything. You don't want to let it drop. You don't want to go by when it drops into your spirit. When Spirit speaks, you want to note it. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to draw this symbol. Draw the symbol. If you don't purchase the Oracle deck, I would still draw the symbol. Even if I did purchase the Oracle deck, draw the symbol as I've done. I couldn't help it. I had to. It just spoke to me. And I started to draw it with a pen, then I hesitated and I said, well, let me grab one of my drawing pencils. But Spirit said, nope, just freehand. No erasing, fixing. Draw it with a pen. Draw it with a pen. And so that's what I did. And I'm going to share with you the notes that I have. I believe that I started with some of the information yesterday. So I'm going to refresh some of it. I said yesterday, but the previous yesterday for me, the previous video for you, or if you haven't watched it, watch the previous video, because that's how we began on DUATs. And just as a refresher, it's the world of spirit. That's the position. This card was chosen in the when we did the layout, the spread. This was position number 2. So that's where we get the number 2 from. This was position number 2 in the spread. This card was. And you intuitively select it. This is the Jasper. Because we did 5 spread. And this was the Jasper. So that was your intuitive choosing. And even if you chose one intuitively, you're here to learn them all. The intuitive selection is so that the Spirit can speak directly to you about something future that you needed to know about. It spoke to you about the steady intensity or whatever it may be. It was to gain practice with tuning into Spirit, because many have lost practice at tuning in and tapping into Spirit. So that was the purpose of that. That's the purpose of that activity, because that's what I call it, a learning activity. It's a learning activity to get you strengthened and more confident in using your intuition. So number 2, DUAT, world of spirit, wisdom, and creative outpour. This is also darkness and unconsciousness. This can also be known as the underworld. But here was the message. Here's was what was written not only in the book, when you go back to read the book, if you haven't done so, or gotten the book or purchased the book, as a reminder, it's the hieroglyphic Words of Power by Normandy Ellis. That's the book that collaborates with this particular oracle. deck. And again, this oracle deck is for the study intensity purposes, is being utilized as a teaching tool to learn the hieroglyphics and their language, to learn the symbols of an ancient language, to awaken the spirit within you. That's the purpose of the study intensity. So the message, even in darkness, you're still being guided. Even in darkness, no worries. You're in the belly of the great mother. Breathe. That's where we stopped in the previous video. Breathe. Be still. What will happen next will be revealed. You have an eternal energy. Let me remind you and say that one more time. You have an eternal energy. You're guided through darkness. Even in darkness, you shine. You live. You shine. Even in the midst of darkness and challenge. Even in the changing of a world, you shine. The number 50 was the number that was also noted being represented with this particular symbol. This was also about a metamorphosis. This is about a transformation. This is about understanding that life and death is a cycle. Everything has a life and death cycle. Everything continues to cycle. Just like becoming a butterfly. It's a transformation. This is all about a transformation. Keep clear and remain clear and free of ego drama. Stay free of the ego drama. Note that once you depart this physical realm that we're in, you will be received into their spiritual realm. You will be welcomed with love. Meditate on that a moment. You're going to be welcomed with love into the spiritual realm when you depart this physical realm. But we're going to come back and note that, because departure doesn't necessarily mean that when you leave the physical realm this time around, that you're going to depart into that spiritual realm. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, because when we talk about the symbols, there's something else that came through the symbol. Eliminates blocks, any type of blocks. Find a creative way to eliminate those blocks. Remain focused and enlightened. Don't let short-term goals distract you. Don't let those quick microwave goals get you distracted. And keep in mind that you want to embody the divine purpose for your life. We're going to come back to the Jasper just as a refresher, and that was just to do a little bit of a refresher. Follow the guidance of spirit. I found that DUAT, this symbol here, there was no way I could have fit all, and I probably won't fit it all into this video. I'm sure it's going to take more. So it might be a little bit longer than you expect. Follow the guidance of spirit. A physical departure means a spiritual arrival. Energy cannot and energy can never be destroyed. It can only change form. That's why I spoke about the fact of transformation. Transformation. It can only change forms. Overcome all the demonic challenge of this world. That's what you're going through. You're coming through this as a passage. You're overcoming this place and its demon challenges here in this physical realm and now. This is being likened to a rites of passage. Even in the darkness, you're finding that the light shows up. You're passing through. You're passing through. When it comes time for your transition, you will become an eternal energy. That's all part of the afterlife, is an eternal energy. A fixed, eternal energy. So don't be distracted. Sorry, there's a call coming in, messing up my line here. Sorry. Don't be distracted by earth. Timely, right? The call comes in. Distraction. I'm trying to record. Distraction. Don't be distracted by this earth. And again, the call comes in. Well, that's my call. I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish this. An important distraction, mind you.